over meta. Let's find out if it's gonna pan out in favor of the side here of Bammysoy, as we are about to get into it. Game numero uno between Bammysoy here and the side of pomoika. Let's see how this is all gonna pan out. Oh gosh. Smoke on smoke action. If this is to turn into a very early skirmish, which team do you think is more favored under these circumstances? Well, we're about to find out, because they're going on to the Spectre. They find him on the high ground. And unfortunately for Abyss, poor man, ending up being the first blood, the first casualty of war here. And that sucks for Comfort, man. He's supposed to be the guy that's like, you know, can carry the team the entire game.
Yeah. No, he's going to need some time. He's going to need a little bit of reset. They're contemplating right now whether or not they kill their high ground ward here. Because with the way that transpired, it could look like they just stumbled upon the Spectre. They didn't need to have absolute vision of him. But also, check this out. They're set up for a skirmish here. They're ready to brawl, while the rest of the lineup is just getting bounty runes. So maybe they decide to peel back a little bit. But currently, Bammysoy is positioned to make way with 3 of these runes.
Okay. Let's see what's this going to accomplish for them. They come out a little bit, but they scout with the bear. They don't actually want the smoke. So it'll end up being a natural 2-2 bounty trade, but it might be the life of Fade. Look how much damage he's taking from the tag team. Does end up dead. And with the blood grenade dropped onto SMN, they're going for more here. Bammysoy, they will not be curtailed. They will not be denied. They want another date against TSM potentially later in the tournament. And SMN does survive, but man, oh man, what a good start to the game for Bammysoy, especially relative to their start against their series in TSM.
Yeah, much more active, just punishing the positioning of these heroes, just getting a little bit too far forward. And that's where, even though the Dawnbreaker and the Tusk have been separated, the rest of the lanes are going to be pretty happy. And of course, LD plus Tusk, just as fearsome a lane, going to be very, very easy for Samson to get a lot out of there. But even top, getting immediate control of these camps, shutting out that Treant. A Treant that has to already play on half HP. He's got regen on the courier, but they have just been so ruined by those early skirmishes. Now, SMN, I mean, yeah, he does win these, I'm pretty sure.
Oof. Well, we know which tree is the stronger tree. And Blink, oh, he baits out the blood grenade. Very nice little stutter movement there. He wants a little bit of vision, because he actually has enough damage to kill with 3 hits before he gets touched, but doesn't want to get too close in case he gets bonked in the face.
It's so funny because neither... Oh, and that's... that's Moo's Ring of Health!
What?
Nobody's... I mean, maybe that's a little karma. I guarantee you, both of these players, they're like, come over, come over. It's literally like a second. They're like, no, 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 I'm fine, I'm laning. Just keep staring at each other.
Oh, well. Well, the one thing about this top lane, between the Tide Hunter and the Spectre, if these 2 heroes are left to their own devices, I mean, Tide is a little bit stronger in this lane, but he knows he can't kill the Spectre. He's just going to try to get his own farm, not really care too much.
Yeah, only time that lane gets scary is after Hammer, after Ravage, you know, good ways away. Meantime, though, it's the Huskar lane. Not getting too many denies, though, on kits. That's the good news, but at the same time, once you get level 5 on Huskar, it gets incredibly difficult to approach anywhere. It's where Mobe, sadly, doesn't have enough damage to really nuke out the creeps either. It's a very, very difficult lane. Wait, look at this.
But they get the Starbreaker out! Oh boy, we were talking about this. The potential on the side of Bammysoy to show up with this Nature's Prophet. Link comes in here into the mid lane. Get the Starbreaker. It's only level 1, but it's enough damage. Sadly, though, that leaves Moo isolated up top, and they will punish him a little bit. But they run out of damage. He's able to skirt behind the tier 1 tower. And guess what here, AT? The courier you killed is about to come back. The courier finally going to ferry in the Ring of Health. Should be able to keep the Tide alive.
Yeah. Gonna be Ring of Health. Gonna be probably some extra regen as well. Even though at this point, you know, maybe he just walks all the way back. Who knows? But I think with the tower regen, with the Ring of Health, he should be able to get back to lane just fine. But in very similar vein in the draft, talking about LD getting left alone, Tide, you can also kind of leave alone. As long as that Anchor Smash hits on both those heroes, it's a double melee lane. So all of that damage gets cut into a quarter, means that you can make those rotations happen. And that makes Mobe's lane so much easier. All of that level acceleration. Again, look at this. They're just getting out-rotated.
I mean, that's the value of having the Nature's Prophet and the Tusk. If they show up middle, the degree of impact that they have relative to Grimstroke, Treant Protector, pretty much unmatched. And the thing that you were just talking about, the Tide Hunter, the Lone Druid, you can leave them alone to make these moves, so you don't actually sacrifice anything on your side lanes to kill off this Husker.
No, and this is not what you want, because at the end of the day, even though it's a sick Huskar pick, it's something that you want to do. It should be a de facto win in your lane. It's not a great Huskar game for him. All of this pressure is going to be on the Treant and the Brewmaster to give yourselves an early and a mid game. And if your Huskar isn't balling out of control, it goes to question why we even drafted Huskar in the first place. They're really putting so much pressure on him. Even though this, a little bit less likely to work, but tag team.
Oh, the shards from Husky holding in Fade. The tag team is there as well. And they should be able to find this kill. No, they don't get any tangles from Samson. You need 2 more hits. You will find the kill eventually. At the same time, though, they end up losing the supporting cost. And they're coming with reinforcements. SMN hoping to maybe help clean up this bear a little bit. And unfortunately, they don't find either. So 2 supports traded out for the Brewmaster. Normally, I think you'd be like, we got Brewmaster, but no, these supports have been involved in a lot of kills. They're relatively farmed right now, so I think it is still value to be able to get those kills. And they look like they want to get more, but they missed the Ice Shards. Not so sure they'll find SMN. The Sprout will be there, and yep, he's gone. Dead to rights. Tries on the high ground to run himself away, but Husky and Blink, yet again, continuing to be major thorns in the side of Pomoika.
No, they're everything they need to be. They're doing a great job reading these rotations. I think the tree is just losing out on where he wants to play. Of course, you don't need to babysit a Spectre versus a Tide Hunter, especially with how separated that top lane has been. But this ganking duo is just causing chaos. And this is a disaster right now for Pomoika. You have vision of them, so at least you don't lose kits again. But your lane-dominating Huskar is sitting in between his Tier 1 and Tier 2 tower, farming jungle, while Mobe is laning under his tower, getting farm, playing mid normally, and now you have Guardian Angel, so you have to have that second level of awareness for any of these aggressive plays you want to do, because guess what? He's going to Solar Guardian. You try to kill Tide, you try to kill anyone, he's going to get involved in that play, TP back to mid, continue farming. Already, you can see that play happen here. This goes south. There it is.
Yep. It comes with the Solar Guardian. Honestly, wasn't even needed from Mobe. He just did it to get the free kill. Thanks for the gold, boys. Easy setup. I wonder if he's going to try to stick around to muscle through this tier 1 tower. They are playing into Treant Protector, so you have to commit for these pushes. In fact, they might commit to the kill as well as Husky gets the snowball out onto SMN. This is going to be a dead Treant Protector. You know, it turns out you cannot cast Living Armor from beyond the grave ET, so the easiest way to prevent this battle is to just kill off the damn tree.
Yeah. In the meantime, what is your rebuttal? You are farming on Spectre top. That's great and dandy. Your Huskar is not able to put any damage on that mid tower. Now it's a fight for the Wisdom Rune. Fade is getting pressured.
No, Samson's gonna die for this. He got greedy. He left the rest of his team, and they're gonna try and get both. They get the kill onto Samson. Kets was hoping to burn down the bear, but doesn't end up happening. The more value kill occurs instead. And to make matters even more entertaining, the fact that they kill Lone Druid also ends this push. So when Living Armor is online, they can heal up all the damage they've taken down bottom.
Yeah, get a little bit of space to work with. It's something. It's something that you can hope for. Even though you do sadly drag your Huskar back out of the mid lane, it's a TP rotation you never want to be forced into. Just ruins your farming pattern and gives space back over to the Dawnbreaker. But already, Moo couldn't get a tier 1 versus TSM. It's his own at 7:30 on this game. He's ready to play. He's going to be looking mid next.
Ooh, Dota, baby. See if he's going to join up. It looks like they want to try and assassinate Kits once more. Mobe goes forward with the Selly Hammer. Wait, Starbreaker, though. They don't have enough vision on all these heroes, so they feel like there might be some support waiting in the wings, which is a correct estimation. But the next time that they see that happening, now that they've got this D-Ward, he'll be dead for sure. Kits, I don't think, can play safely in the mid lane any longer.
No, you have to be so careful. Until you have Overgrowth available to you, you just don't have a strong hero to sit behind you. It's where he will rotate over towards the Ancients. It's where Huskar can kind of infinitely farm. But at the same time, so many heroes not showing, NPs stacking, Tusk is hiding in the trees. You can't show in any of these lanes. It's why Fade is playing so defensive right now, because he knows what's going to happen. Gets too far forward, gets dove under tower. This is a little bit sketchier, but the tower's almost dead.
Feels bad for Fade.
And there you go.
Does not have access to the primal split, unfortunately, so we'll just end up dead. And this time around, notice where Samson is chilling. He's like, screw those ancients, screw anything happening that side. I just want the tower now.
Yep. Keeps it simple. Keeps that vision advantage. Kit still doesn't have his armlet. Ay, ay, ay. And it's only 2 deaths, but that's enough. That's all it takes. And then suddenly, the mid lane's cracked wide open. At least you're going to have a little bit more teamfight capabilities once you get these levels. But that is the biggest issue right now for pomoika. Nobody has levels. Nobody is high up there. You don't have Overgrowth. You don't have Soulbind. You have none of your ultimates right now. Everybody is just so far down there.
And unfortunately, the one critique that we had in the draft, there's Abyss. Comfort forced to ultimate out to try and stay alive, but just gifts a dominating streak to Mobe. Given the heroes up top, I would have rather given Mu the gold, but what can you do? There's no good options. You just end up dead no matter what. And unfortunately, ET, you know, unless they get a Blink Dagger on this Brewmaster, they still can't do anything. Like, they can't fight anywhere. They just have to, like, watch all of this happening to them with no real ability to counterplay themselves.
Now, you're almost stuck waiting for Bammysoy to push themselves out too thin, but here's the last tier 1 tower. The pressure adds on. And that's what I was talking about earlier about this Huskar pick. Because it's not what their lineup needed. It's a pocket pick. It's trying to get something going for you. And he dodges out the well.
Nice.
Husky.
Husky did it. He won the mental war this time around. Fade really wants to get off the primal split and he will be able to find it. But look how quickly they just demolish his Brewlings. Holy smokes. He's forced to like flee with the Void Brewling just to stay alive here. But oh, they're doing the smart thing. They're gonna surround him. They know where he's coming back. Fade getting body blocked right now. And they try to save him. Flee through in the Soulbind. It will not have any impact. Right now, they're just having some fun on the side of Bammysoy as they are dismantling pomoika in game 1.
It's like a Zerg full surround. It's disgusting. He couldn't do anything. He's just trapped. He knows what's coming, but that was your ultimate. That was your primal split. Didn't successfully defend a tower. No return kills. And you're a Spectre lineup. It just is where, unfortunately for pomoika, so much of their draft was this Huskar succeeding, creating space, finding ways to farm early when Spectre can't take those same routes. And it's not happening. In Abyss, you have 4 yesterday, going Midas, being more confident, able to take the slower route because he's under just that little pressure. But now, Bammysoy is not going to let you get away with it. They're hunting. They're looking for you constantly. They're farming faster than you. It's where, really, gotta be so careful. But it comes down to that Huskar.
Bye-bye, Comfort. Bye-bye, Abyss. Feels bad, my friend. And they committed the Solar Guardian without even really needing to, but let's be honest, they don't need their ultimates to win fights at this stage of the game anymore. So, might as well just expend the cash, get the kill, and ensure that the Spectre stays down in the dumps. Spectre, you know, normally when I see a 4.5k carry at 12 minutes, I'm like, man, this hero is underfarmed. He's not even the least farmed core hero on his team. The Brewmaster has less net worth than the Nature's Prophet played in the support role in that Bammysoy.
Yeah, no, it's not pretty. You've got that first set of items coming out for Bammysoy as well. Of course, some pretty expensive items too. You're going to be looking at items like the Pipe and the Blink for the Tide. You almost have Radiance fully done up on the Lone Druid. It's not getting any easier. The team fights are only going to get more difficult, and we're still waiting for Overgrowth. We just don't have a lane for the Treant to play in. Everywhere is just being scrappy. You need to find your farm on these other heroes. And sure, maybe you're getting some levels on Flea. Flea's been naturally, for many years, a very greedy 4 player. But do you even get the Dark Portrait in this game? Does that even fix your problem? And then Fade. He has to primal split, but does anybody get to walk away from this?
Let's see. He's got a Brewling just trying to run. Starbreaker comes out. And Fire Brewling gonna die. He's given up the ghost. He knows what's up. He's like, whatever. Let me just try to outplay them a little bit. I'll juke them. sadly, it does not end up working. He ends up dead anyway with the anchor smash from Mu.
Oh.
So that is a death, and they're chasing for more potentially, going on to Flea, but he's already safely on the high ground. So they won't be able to continue that pursuit, but they do open up space to continue pushing onto the tier 2 tower.
Yep. Easy damage, Meteor Hammer, just the stalwart of the push. Now they're sticking around for the 14-minute rune. They're just blowing you off the map. They know there's no way right now for Pomoika to fight them. It's where, sadly, they just don't have that innate comeback mechanism. And sure, SMN finally has the overgrowth, but...
Hey.
Yeah, too little too late. Mobe's level 11. They're just enormous. All of these cores are just so huge. That's your Radiance done, so I think at this point, your best bet is maybe you just get the Huskar into the Roche pit, you try to steal, sneak a Roche, hope for the best, but even then, it's very difficult. And Mobe, maybe this could be it.
They're going on to Mobe, looking for this kill, and they should be able to find it. A lot of gold given away. At the same time, Fade does die down bottom, getting jumped on by the rest of Bammysoy. But 1,000 gold for Kits, that is massive recovery for the Huskar, the one hero that they need to be doing well at this stage of the game. I'm not sure it's going to be enough, but at the very least, he does have the Ogre Axe, can start thinking about BKB.
Yeah, and that's what they have to do. Specifically punishing Mobe, of course on Dawnbreaker, you play a very self-isolating style. You're almost like a pocket Spectre, where you can afford to be farming on the other side of the map, being by yourself, because you can soul guard into the rest of the team. But it still doesn't solve the problem that Pomoika has, which is you cannot fight an even fight versus Bammysoy whatsoever right now. It is waiting game. It is watching idly as your tier 2s get pressured. Now Mu has a Blink Dagger, so if he wants to, it's going to be smoke time pretty soon, but
might be the first Ravage of the game. It catches onto 3. The Solar Guardian comes through as well, connects onto 2. Kits is gone, so is the Grimstroke. However, Fade with the Primal Split and this Haunts from Abyss, they're thinking about trying to go onto Mobe, but they very quickly realize that they just do not have the damage. The Radiance Burn not helping matters either, and now they're gonna body block the Earth Bruling. Has Fade not suffered enough, boys? Has he not been through hell and back? Bammysoy say no, they sent him down for one more trip, and they secure yet another team fight.
No, and it looks like a good punish, but as soon as that ink swell is over, as soon as your Huskar goes down, you lose pretty much all of your damage. You get to purge the DD off of the Dawnbreaker, but that's it. They just didn't realize how close Mu was to that fight. I don't even know if he had to use the Blink in that situation. I think he just got to casually combo. It didn't matter.
No,
exactly.
It didn't even arrive. It was on the way from the courier.
It just feels like that's easy.
Oh, here's a Blink reveal down bottom, though. There's going to be a nice little gush onto the Spectre. Comfort slowed down, but popping the Blade Mail does deter the aggression somewhat. And at the same time, Kits jumped onto Blink. There's a Soulbind back there, but Kits is just going to get eaten alive by these heroes. The Haunts at the very least, or the Shadow Step rather, able to help them kill Tusk, but who the hell cares when you keep reliably losing your Huskar?
No, you get a single return. You're able to get something, but there's really no salvaging Kits' game at this point. He's going to need an exorbitant amount of time to get back in this game, and he needs an Aegis. It's so crucial for that hero, very similarly to TA, where you're momentum-based. You need that Aegis so you don't have to risk just straight up dying. You're not tanky right now. It's pretty easy for these heroes to take you out. We don't even have the Deso built up on Mobe just yet, but then you're going to have a physical damage problem. You're only dying to magic right now, but it's not like it gets any easier. And as soon as Bammysoy get another big ticket item, can only imagine that they're going to push the envelope, get their first Roche. It's probably on the Deso for the Dawnbreaker, just so it doesn't take that much time. And then they're going to continue to roll you. There's only one more tier 2 left to play for if you're Pomoika. They might even be checking out right now for not even deciding to defend it. They're already moving from Midas's on Fade.
Oh boy. When you have to queue up the post 20-something minute Midas on the offlaner, and the only item he has is a Spirit Vessel. 18 minutes in. Spirit Bristle of brown boots, bro. Struggling. Really struggling. Another hero that's struggling is the Spectre, and she might struggle even more. Mu does have the Ravage, but doesn't actually want to use it, and it doesn't seem like he'll have to. Starbreaker will come in. They should be able to find the damage and the necessary stun. Very easy for them to get the kill on the Spectre. And you were talking about maybe waiting on the timing of getting this Desolator. I mean, With how much damage they have in the game right now, they might not decide to wait. Or they could just take their tier 2. Honestly, they can do whatever the hell they want. Like, the rules of normal Dota don't apply to them at the moment.
No. They're chilling. They're having a good time. They're just pushing down, being very efficient with their time currently. With the shard untied, just having another interrupt so these heroes can't TP away from you. That's Deso completed on the Dawnbreaker. It's just coming like clockwork. If they want to, they could start the Roche top. I don't think they can do it fast enough before he treks down bottom, but if they want to pull the entire lineup to get that going, they absolutely can, and looks like that's what they're going to do. I think, honestly, it might just be fast enough with max level tag team. They're going to start it right now, and there's nothing you can do if you're Pomoika. You take the rest of the net worth on the map, you try to push out these lanes. You knew this was coming, but it still stings. You just have no damage, no team fight, no way to combat this at all. I don't even know if that was their Cobalt there coming in at the end, but doesn't matter. They're trying to take as much farm of the map as they can. Bammysoy, get ready for their next push here. Tier 2 tops next on the chopping block.
Give the Aegis towards Mobe, so he can play even more aggressively. Has queued up a Blink Dagger next. They haven't lost a single tier 1 tower. You know, normally when you see a map look like this, where one team has taken all the real estate and the other team has nothing, normally the team that has all the real estate left is the one that has Shield Protector. Very atypical that he's on the losing side of all of this hurt and damage.
Oh, and that stings. Kits has to queue up a plate mill now because he knows Armlet BKB is not what you want on this hero, but you need to survive somehow. There's no Ags, there's no Sanj. He doesn't do that much damage. Fade, well, he's anchored. The Ankla.
Well, feels bad, fam. The meme hammer, the anchor to hold him down, and the anchor smash to put him down. We lose our Brewmaster there. And now Mu getting even more farmed. And Fade, not only is that a death, that keeps him away from him picking up his Midas. Bro, he was 100 gold away from the recipe.
Oh, it hurts. It just hurts. But you do what you gotta do. Your Spectre's getting farm at least. But Pomoika are feeling a little bit defeated. I can already feel. You don't see them going for those haunt plays anymore. Your team can't really make those plays. So you're not having that comeback mechanism for Spectre to start getting involved in these engagements. We're just playing that waiting game. A waiting game that is not going to get very easy for you. Aegis on the Dawnbreaker as well, so she could just go wild. Doesn't have to worry about not having a BKB right now, even though as soon as he wants to, he can go for that item. Instead, probably goes for Shard Blink, just so he can kill this backline even faster. It's hard. It's tough to watch, but they also did it to themselves with this Huskar pick. And then just beautiful play from Bammysoy early on. Game's not over, but man, is it hard.
About to get harder because I think Fade is dead. Okay, no. Husky shows some mercy. Because Mu is more concerned with pushing out this mid wave. He's like, dude, what am I going to get from killing a Brewmaster again? Who cares? But said Brewmaster is still pushing pretty far up. Fade? 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 Oh my god. This, okay, I'm very surprised by this. So he will be forced into the Brew split, but we've seen how this movie ends before. Fortunately for him, though, they don't have the Lone Druid nor the Dawnbreaker here, so they actually might let him escape. Let's see. 3 more seconds until the Brew split ends. Sprouted out on the Earth Ruling. Oh no. They got him. They found him. And they are gonna kill him. Fade taken out. They do Solar Guardian in because they came in with the Haunt. Abyss and Kids really want this fight. The first BKB of the game allows Kids to dodge the Ravage. But it's not gonna be the same for the Abyss Spectre. As Comfort gets caught and killed. Even through BKB, Kids gets right-clicked to death. And it looks like Bammysoy might have just broken this game. Mobe jumps forward into the base. Starbreaker to secure the triple kill for himself. And honestly, ET, I think he also secured the game because there is just no way back for Pomoika right now.
Maybe if they end up glyphing this tower at the end here. They're still, you know, playing Dota as much as you can in this position, but you just don't have any damage. You tried your best there. You die to the physical damage from the Dawnbreaker. Nice little sprout play there from Blink. Gets him over the gate. The impossible terrain. Not supposed to be able to get through there, but you know. It's just a wall.
Why did Fate go forward in the lane though? I'm so surprised.
Yeah, no. I think at this point, could just be tired. Could just be getting a little bit burnt out right now. Especially in a game where so many things have gone wrong so quickly. it can be exhausting, you know? Your tier 2s are getting taken out. Your slam dunk in the mid lane didn't pan out. You got forced into the Spectre lineup very early on in the draft. We'll see. SMN, he's got an interesting position, but I don't know if you can walk this one out.
The Spectre is dead. Mu getting the anchor, literally making him dead in the water as they easily kill off the Spectre. And yes, the Spectre does have buyback, but doesn't have the full Aghanim Scepter, so it's not going to have the massive buyback haunt of Spectres of Yong. Well, now what? I guess you can maybe try to hold until the Aegis finishes. But do they even need an Aegis anymore to push up the hill? Doesn't feel like it.
Look at this.
Holy.
It's so much damage.
What? Solar Crest, a Pupil's Gift, Spirit Vessel, and some right-click damage. Alright, seems good. Seems fair.
Yeah. T2 time. Take it out. Close off the map. The only person that has to be careful is the Dawnbreaker, who's just farming bottom by herself, but she's got Aegis for a second more. Does time out, but still does not make this any easier. At least pomoika have Glyph. They've got something to play for, but you gotta come back. They're already here. If you don't want to get forced into using your Glyph, you're gonna have to show up, and there you go. And now pomoika are locked in the base. Anytime they get up there, and actually, Kits!
He has a BKB going, but we've seen before that it doesn't protect him all that much. He tried with the life break onto Blink, but he can't even kill a support Nature's Prophet. That's Kits dead, down to rights. No buyback available either for him. Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. The only reason he dies like that, he pings the word out immediately after, is that the supports can't leave the base. They can't get anywhere right now. They're stuck in Abyss.
Get in the water onto the Spectre again. But they're actually not going to be able to get the kill just yet. Shadow Step will come back in. There's going to be the Ravage. It flies out, connect onto 2. But between that and the Starbreaker, they haven't found the disable they need just yet. Mobe and Mu put together with the Soulbind. Samson's Bear falling fairly low. And Mu might actually have to give up his life here to tank the gank. He's tanking a lot of Radiance burn damage. But the Spectre not tanky enough to actually run in there, get in the water, hold her in position once again. But I think they will show some respect to the Kits respawn. They see the Huskar returning. They're like, yeah, he's not the strongest hero in the world, but let's not take any foolish fights when we're already winning so hard.
Yeah. And it was a little bit messy. A lot of Bammysoy's damage and disable ended up getting tanked through by things that didn't matter. Half of the Brewmaster's HP pool, and then the split comes off. Same with the Bear. Samson had to back out of that fight very early on. And that gives pomoika enough confidence to smoke out of the base.
Oh, look at this.
Something.
They get Samson. Oh, Kits is not on him though. They're going to be forced to go onto Mu instead. But not an easy kill. It is a Tide Hunter after all. They still do manage to find it. At the same time, SMN finds a huge overgrowth on the 3 heroes. We see Kits trying to go ham, but the damage coming in from Blink and Samson a little bit too high. Now Samson, he gets to just send the Bear forward, looking for SMN. The drums gets popped. Tie shots are dodged, but it will not matter. SMN dies regardless. And it turns out we have another carry in the game. Blink is joining the damage-dealing crew. Between him, Sammy, and Moboy, it's way too much for them to deal with, even without Mu.
Yep, then they split across. Get easy damage here onto the racks. No more Glyph. Just pressure onto your building. Hey, we don't even have Mobe right now. If they want to jump in, he's got the Solar Guardian ready. He TP'd back to well just to heal up to full, and then he's just back to farming. But they don't need him. They've got this Rax. Can't do anything. There's no rebuttal. There's very few tier 3s left. It's just the Rax coming up next. As soon as Mu is back out onto the map, the game's just going to get more difficult from here. Only thing they have to wait for is Ravage, which is coming up pretty soon, and then that might just spell the end of the game here. Only thing you can hope for pomoika is another miracle grab like that. Maybe you can get Samson before he gets the ultimate off. That'd be perfect, but it feels like nothing at this point is going to stop the Dawnbreaker. You have to hide from her. Otherwise, any of those Qs, any of those Celestial Hammers just tear you in half.
Yeah. The only bright side about this one is that although there is a very high likelihood, 98% according to Dota, of Bammysoy winning, they have the one hero that has always been renowned in the late game. Well, there's one of the two. I'd say Faceless Void and Spectre are those two heroes that you never really count out until the game is over. So if they can just elongate this for another 40 minutes, it should be easy, bro. Nice and fun.
It should be easy. Should be easy. Who knows? If it would be much more convincing if said Spectre had 10,000 more net worth, but you know, it's we'll need a lot more game for that to happen. But at least Roche is cooperating with pomoika, delaying itself, not giving Bammysoy that very early timer. I think one of the longest timers, so they will be constantly hovering around that pit, giving pomoika a few more opportunities to find some net worth here, even though the smoke is pretty difficult. Yeah, Kits has to decide, give up on that, trying to move out onto the map. Could catch the Dawnbreaker bottom if she decides to go and farm out this wave, but at the same time, doing a much better job of hiding himself, not giving up the play, knowing that he's completely isolated from the rest of his team. That would be the one big throw in this game, is just Mobe losing his life early here, but Bammysoy is taking it low and slow, not giving any chances to their opponents. They're literally just waiting for Roche, and then they're going to try to end the game.
Yep. Gonna smoke up top, actually. See if they can catch anybody who's trying to make a foray onto the top side of the map. SMN will find himself popping a smoke and dodging the dust, so feels very good for him, wasting some time away from Bammysoy. And at this point, that's the only thing you can do, right? Just waste their time somehow. Force them to respond to things that they don't really want to have to. I don't know how you do it, but, you know, it's a good first attempt from SMN.
It's something, even though Fleet choosing the right trees to hide in. Almost a dangerous situation there. But 10 seconds until Roche is done. They do get some creep pressure, at the very least, on some of these lanes, but all these tier 1s alive, it's very easy to just TP back. Mid tower is barely taking 200 damage.
Blink just went in. This is a madman play from the Nature's Prophet. What? Alright. You know, we've all been there. It's, you know, you're feeling yourself sometimes, you know? The game is going so well, you feel like you can do whatever you want, but that's a beyond, not beyond godlike, but a regular godlike streak ended. 1,700 gold to the Spectre. It's stuff like that that can tip the balance and make the makings of a comeback.
Oh, absolutely. Completely unnecessary, too. Did not need to do that at all. He could have just done a lot of other things, but wanted that kill. He saw red, you know, as many NA players do. He wanted the kill. He got the kill. He got killed. It happens.
How many deaths does poor SMN? Suffered 6 deaths this game. It's quite a lot. Not as many as Fade and Abyss, but it's been a tough day at the office. As Bammysoy now picked up this Aegis of the Immortal yet again. This time around, instead of giving it to Mobe, they deliver it onto this lone druid. Maybe they feel that at this stage, Mobe shouldn't realistically be dying. But we'll see.
I think also just making it even more impossible. You don't have that easy grab. Samson's very fragile, especially if they can find the silence on him with the Phantom's Embrace, but without that, don't really think he can die at this point. But here we go. Push onto the tower. Spectre positioning in the top lane, just trying to get any farm she can, but there's no reaction here from pomoika. They're starting to get back out now, but they get too close, they just get jumped by Tusk and Tide, and then they die. So positioning is feeling almost impossible for them right now.
Was a very big item picked up though by SMN. He just got a Blink Dagger on this tree. Given that nobody else on the team has a Blink Dagger, he is now their full initiation. It sort of reminds me of that Fort Studios game where Jenkins was in a similar position. No one can fight, so he has to buy Blink. But that does mean that there's maybe a chance. He can start the fight for them. Fade can actually enter the fight, not having to pop Primal Split just to survive. So, Bammysoy do have to be a bit careful with how they approach this push, but they stay in formation. Should be practically impossible for them to lose a team fight.
And here we go. Pushing in. Living Armor on the tree, but Mu finds anything. It becomes Solar Guardian. It becomes a fight. If he had any vision of that high ground right now, he would have just jumped that, because it would have been absolute death for any of these heroes. But they're being patient. They're being slow.
2 cores caught with Meme Hammer. Mu doesn't follow up just yet. They're slowly but surely burning through this bear. And it's very low on the HP. It's going to be forced to TP home and then be dragged back into the fray. But while all this is happening, SMN reliably healing up the tier 3 tower, ensuring that the damage, the pokes that Bammysoy are bringing don't actually last. But they will not be deterred, ET. I think they're going to keep trying until they get something out of this. They're also going to try and force a fight. They smoked up now with 3 heroes. They're coming in. There he is. He caught him out, dragging him outside of the base with the fetch Aghanim shot. They find Fade and they're going to try and kill him. He does get off the primal split though. But while this is happening, we saw Mobe as well as Husky on the back end, killing off both supports. Ravage onto the cores. Kids gets off BKB, but it will not matter. Brought down by Blink as well as Mobe. Fade is going to, for once, try to survive a primal split. It looks like he's close enough to his base to be able to do so. Still a 1 fight for Bammysoy. They force a buyback out of the Husker. But all their ultimates outside of Soldier Guardian are down. We'll see if there's any window that can be exploited as a result. Oh no, unfortunately, he still has the fetch, trying to bring back Abyss. But Comfort does have access to the Manta Style to get himself out of trouble. Fade, not going to be as lucky. And now the Starbreaker on the 2. SMN buys space and time with the overgrowth. That's actually going to lead to Mobe losing an astonishing amount of HP. But sadly, Comfort cannot do it all by his lonesome. Kits is being zoned away by the Lone Druid, so they cannot kill the Dawnbreaker. Kits, one last Ink Swell. Maybe this keeps him alive, and indeed it does. Somehow, some way, they've actually held ET. They haven't lost a tier 3 tower. They've lost several heroes, yes, but the base, in shambles as it is, has not been completely destroyed.
No, they're surprisingly able to reset. A shocking amount of patience and non-committal attitude from Bammysoy. I guess not wanting to get punished. They don't want to be stuck in there for too long. They're deciding to take the low and slow route, which honestly seems to be getting them in some trouble. The most successful initiation there was actually Husky on the backline, killing both supports with Mobe. They're just being very slow to actually get into a lot of these engagements that they on paper should be winning. Clearly, they have all of this net worth advantage. They've got these heroes that do so much physical damage, but they'd rather be patient. And patient they will. Tower is healing up, but not that quickly, and here we go. Break,
oh my god! Comfort! Dead, killed off, and now they're going to be able to jump onto the Grimstroke as well. Husky just going to be looking for the backline angle. Now, look who it is. It's Kids trying to stand his ground with the BKB, pushing away with the D-Lance. Hurricane Pike, but it's not going to help him. He's dead. Spectre in the middle of the fight, sprouted up, surrounded by enemies on all fronts. And with her death, also die the options for recovery in this game 1. GG is called. Bammysoy and the gang, they take a massive game 1 victory. And although they got trounced earlier by TSM, I would hazard a guess as to say this is the biggest stomp we've seen so far in the qualifiers.
Yeah, no. Perfect early game. Absolutely perfect.